Good afternoon. My name is Abby Fisher, and today I'm going to present my individual project on marketing weddings for remote locations. Before we begin, I just want to give a quick overview of what will be talked about. I will give the reason for my proposals and why it's important and why I chose it, and then go through my two examples. Then I will relate the content to things that we had talked about in class, and then also end with some suggestions on how these venues can improve their marketing techniques and why it's important. So, posts today tend to get lost in a big pile of social media ads, which can be because people's cookies and their history that's saved in their browsers. And then also just from different things that we have purchased in the past or things that we have looked up. And people just learn to kind of tune them out and ignore them. So it's really important for companies nowadays to create really entertaining content that is really fresh and new and exciting. So not all companies do that. And so I just want to talk about today why specifically it's important to wedding venues. This is especially important because weddings don't happen every day. It is just not a service that is used as often as, say, a restaurant. So marketing and trying to bring more customers in is super critical to a business. So it's really important to have a very clear target market, and a brand image or a voice on social media or any other type of marketing, like a billboard, flyers, word of mouth. So it's just important for event managers and marketing managers to find a way to reach guests so that they can bring in a good flow of revenue and to please guests, because we want to share the wonderful experiences with people. So in order to bring in some awareness, I just want to give some examples of a company who is maybe not doing so great marketing wise and a company that is doing a lot better. So first, I just wanted to look at companies that are very close to home, and one of them was a lodge in Crawfordsville called Stone Creek Lodge. The main issue with them is that they only used Facebook as their form of sharing who they are, which is very dangerous because in this day and age, it's not really the social media platform people are using, especially for the target market that they may be trying to reach. They also don't post consistently on their Facebook page, which is very dangerous. What is helpful for them, though, is that they have the same amount of followers as the other company that I looked at for my example, and they have more reactions in that sense on Facebook. They have more hearts and likes, but they still don't have the greatest followings elsewhere and compared to other venues. This is especially important for Stone Creek Lodge because they are in a more remote area in Crawfordsville compared to other ones that are around them. So they kind of get lost, and if you don't really know what's going on, personally, I've never even heard of it. So, and I've been in the area since I was born. So the fact that I don't really know about it, and I know about some of these other ones, it really speaks volumes about their marketing techniques and how they just aren't very engaging, and they're maybe not using the best platforms right now. Then the other one that I looked at was the Rich Charles. They are more up to date on different social media platforms. They mostly post on Instagram, which is great because people my age who are getting to the point of marriage use Instagram more frequently. Is also been studies that have been done that most people in Generation Z and young millennials use Instagram, YouTube, and more people are starting to use Reddit. So the Rich Charles has a fairly good start. They also post more consistently. Their content is really engaging. It reflects who they are as a company. They have more followers, which is fantastic. And I did not get any of that vibe from the Stone Creek Lodge. It was just kind of one of those things like, oh, they have a lot of nice things to offer, but I'm still kind of lost. Let's go find something else. And Rich Charles, I did not feel that way at all. It's like they have great content. They have a variety. It's just not of their sites. They have really good pictures of the bride and groom and different stories, and share different things about them as a company, which is really important because stories are really engaging. So just way more appealing in that sense. So, and why this is an issue, or how this connects to content that has been talked about in class, it just made me think of the importance of pairing with DMOs and DMCs. For remote locations, it can be very difficult for people to find, but this not only applies to wedding venues within the United States. There are couples who appreciate destination weddings. So people can go to the DMOs and be like, hey, we want a really great unbiased opinion of which sites are the best to get married in. This is kind of what we're looking at. What are some ideas? What does the city have to offer? So if you're able to company with those different DMOs, then that's fantastic. And it also just, if you then offer services for the DMC, it's just super helpful to the bride and groom who are looking to share their special days to help everything run more smoothly. If they live in the States and they're trying to get married in, say, Greece or France, that's going to be very hard for them to plan. So just being able to have those connections just made me think of how important it is to be in the services that DMOs and DMCs use, which I never really thought about before. And then also just the concept of knowing your target audience. As I was doing some research and stuff on this topic, I ran across an interview that one of the writers did on Forbes, and it was just talking about what millennials are looking for, and then it made me realize how lost some of the wedding venues, even around Indiana, are in terms of understanding their target audience. Millennials and people my generation are looking for things that are more personal and more unique. They want their guests to say, wow, it's very customized and very tailored to their own personality. So they want to be special in their own. They just don't want to be, oh yeah, there's another girl walking down in a white dress and with flowers. Yippee. So the customers want to feel valued and listened to. It's a very important event. They're sharing and expressing their love for each other, and they're sharing that with their families. So they want to be able to, for able to stand out. This can also apply to someone's religious preferences and their dietary needs. If you're not willing to accommodate for that, then that could be a huge issue, because those are things that are really hot right now. Even just health in general, even if there isn't a specific dietary thing that people cannot absolutely eat. If you're not willing to talk about it and at least consider it, then that may be an issue. Just be able to talk about, hey, like, we know you as a young couple are really interested in sustainability. Let's figure out how to make this wedding sustainable. So just little things like that, just trying to understand and listen to who the couple are. So some suggestions, which is, as previously stated, just to know your target audience. It's really important to ask questions like what social media platform is preferred, what content gets the most reactions, how frequent are we in our postings, are we engaging customers, are we entertaining? That's a big one nowadays. That can be anywhere from just funny posts, sharing stories, those types of things. It just helps everyone stay focused on what they're trying to share. Another key important thing is to look at what competitors are posting as well. That way you can set a benchmark for yourself. But it also just helps you understand what consumers are starting to love. And if you're running out of creative ideas, you can look to those as well. Second, create memorable and relatable content. This could be anywhere from like a meme or a joke, or just showing a picture of, a bride and her mom being super stressed out, and you can caption it something with like, do you have wedding stress? We've seen it a time or two. Let us help you with for on your special day, so you don't have to worry. So like, everyone knows that it's super stressful time, so they know that there's a professional out there that can help them do it, and that can help them calm down. Like, oh, they really know what they're doing. Look at all this content that they have. It's beautiful. Like, I don't have to worry about this. And also, don't be afraid to get creative and use trends. People are always looking for new and creative ideas for their weddings. So being able to display creative flair is really fantastic. And if they can see that reflected in posts, then a bride might be like, oh, if they were creative for this person's wedding, they can be creative for mine. This could also, just be pairing up with good vendors for, specifically like photography. If a girl likes a specific kind, like, oh yeah, like we can give you more of the hipster neutral tone photography, or we can find you someone who is more into the classic type. So just being able to know those types of answers and be able to share that is also really important. Hashtags are also really important. It helps you stand out. That's something that the Rich Charles does. That's absolutely fantastic. They not only have their own hashtag, hashtag the Rich Charles, but they also have ones that make them stand out. That really captures their classy, smooth, and cleverness that they have. So it can kind of show this really elegant flair. So in conclusion, it's important to find ways to stick out in ways that are creative and fresh. And if companies like the Stone Creek Lodge don't follow the Rich Charleses in the world, that can be really difficult to locate. But ultimately, what we're trying to do is create a unique experience that's memorable for the bridal party and the guests. Hospitality is all about creating good experiences with a good time and full bellies that have good food. And if we can't capture that from the very beginning through our pictures and our marketing, then there's a problem. And if people can't see it and tangibilize that, they're not going to want to come into your company and go talk to a wedding planner and be like, hey, like, I want my wedding to be here. Like, this is what I want. And if they can't see it, they're probably not going to feel comfortable confronting that company. So that's something that's really important. And just also remember, just look to the future. See what the next generation is looking at. What are they engaging in? What social media platforms are they using? You can't grow without looking into the future. So it's important for companies like Stone Creek Lodge to look ahead and to see what other people are doing, so they can kind of decide where their next steps are and how that affects them as a wedding venue company. So thank you for your time. I hope that was very informative and you learned as much as I did. So thank you for your time.